So Halo Infinite is going to be the longest running Halo multiplayer there has ever been. Yes, we now know future Halo titles are in development, but not only are those ways off, they are probably not going to have a traditional type of multiplayer. But if Xbox plays their cards right, and a single element gets added to Halo Infinite, this might not be as bad as you think. I put hundreds of hours into Halo Infinite, have seen all the reports and rumors, and I'm pretty confident Halo is my all-time favorite game franchise, so believe me when I say I feel you here. But I got something kind of interesting if you thought Halo Infinite was kind of just dead at launch, because I saw something recently about The Finals, another game that is awesome. It's free to play. It's a first-person shooter, and it had a very similar player count in its first month, Steam charts-wise, and the same amount of praise and such, and it had a similar drop-off as Halo Infinite, being in that 40% area. And then I saw a lot of other games that I like too that aren't necessarily all shooters, but things like Fall Guys, Back 4 Blood, Party Animals. They all experienced this 40-something% drop after their first month. It's a very common occurrence. If it doesn't happen, then it is kind of just a comet in the sky situation of just score. And I want to bring that up to people that think the only way for Halo to kind of get popular again and revitalize is for it to release a brand new title that isn't Infinite. And while that absolutely could work, it could also just lead to the never-ending cycle that a new game launch could be. It could just be the same situation of it has a great launch and then everybody dips out. It's just a rinse and repeat. Maybe there is a new Halo multiplayer in development from Certain Affinity. They were supposed to add something to Halo Infinite, and now, according to rumors, it sounds like that's not happening anymore. Maybe they're working on something entirely different. But it might not be the traditional kind of Halo multiplayer that we're aware of. There's also other teams that are probably working on the next Halo campaign. There is some kind of future Halo title in development since 2022. Halo Infinite going forward could be that traditional multiplayer that they kind of had the original intent of being the 10-year plan that they might be sticking with. Signs of them sticking to that are things like the Master Chief Collection team. They've basically moved on to be the Halo Infinite support team. Pierre Hines, if I said that name right, who's the new head of 343, said one of their biggest focuses going forward is to offer a robust live offering, which is kind of what Infinite is trying to do. And in a recent community update, we did get word that they are working on something like Spartan Points for Master Chief Collection that will help people unlock old cosmetics. And just look at that main menu screen. Does that not scream like we are finished finally making this game look to you? Like it's literally just the Halo ring. It's Zeta Halo. Halo Infinite is now this kind of dream come true. I did a video going over like all the content this game has, but the nutshell, it now has more maps than any other Halo has. It finally has cross-core customization between shoulders, heads, visors, and such. It's just nearly impossible for your Spartan to look exactly like somebody else's. There's at least 16 active playlists at a time, and they have the match composer, like Master Chief Collection, in the works. And the only thing that I felt personally was lacking from the game was Firefight, or some kind of PvE content, and now they have it with Firefight. I hope they add more playlists that kind of just other versions of Firefight or just like levels that the community made. Speaking on that front, it's the Forge. Forge and custom game browser has made Halo Infinite essentially the title, Infinite. There is endless possibilities thanks to how crazy the Forge is and the custom game browser just jumping around. It really resembles Roblox. I really feel that Roblox is a prime example of what Halo Infinite can eventually become if the cards are played right, hence that hook at the beginning. You see, Roblox came out in I think 2006 or something like that, correct me if I'm wrong, and it just was not relevant. Not many people were playing it, but then over a decade later, it became like one of the biggest games that everybody was playing. I don't know if you knew that. I looked up the numbers and I had no idea there was that many people playing Roblox, but how did it happen? The game's free to play, it's multi-platform, it has a very friendly community, and it really helps people learn maybe game design skills. And Halo Infinite has a lot of those things in common with Roblox, but not quite everything. There's that multiple platforms thing, which we will, as I post this video, we'll probably have a very big thing to talk about here soon about that I'm a little bit sketched out about. But I think the things that Halo Infinite could do with the things that it has in it currently that can make it kind of the Roblox situation is really amplify the social features. That is something that Roblox has great, and that is something that Halo used to have great. Having things like the pre-game lobby and maybe post-game lobby to chit-chat with people, making file shares where you could share certain screenshots or games or whatever, having a veto system where people, if they see a certain map or playlist, they can all veto it together, and that's what happens in the pre-game lobby. Having maybe in-game clans or something, just having these features to really make it much more social instead of you just on your own single venture and you are not part of anything.
You're not getting laid. Tough luck.
Fuck this game! Fuck this TV! Fuck this couch!
And while a dumbed down version of Forge isn't as important as that, I think a dumbed down version of Forge could really help. Back in the day, I loved hanging out with my friends in Forge, just kind of goofing around, and now Forge is so advanced that just doesn't seem possible. It has become such a niched thing for the people that know how it works, and then the rest of us just kind of enjoy off of them. But it'd be neat if they just made another dumbed down version of Forge, just like a basic version, and then here's the actual big boy version. But even if they do all these things, I feel you, man. Like, it's, as a Halo fan, it's really bittersweet to think the next Halo will just essentially be maybe a campaign or a brand new type of Halo or just something like that. And Infinite is just really the only brand new traditional multiplayer we get. But the biggest hurdle that they have is oversaturation. Even with Infinite being the dream come true, the endless land of opportunity for Halo fans, oversaturation is a big thing. That's how the player count goes down. There's so many games coming out. Like, even on a relatable level, I'm a YouTuber. I was growing like crazy back in 2017, 2018. Then 2019, I don't know what it was. There was just a surge of so many people talking about games and doing these things that it became so much harder to grow. And I think that's what the gaming landscape deals with. There's so many games coming out left and right that Halo just is a game amongst the masses now. It's not necessarily because of the quality, it's because there's so much quality now. So what can Xbox and 343 do about that? I've said this before, I'll say it again. Halo Infinite needs to show up at an Xbox showcase of some kind that so many eyes are on, but it can't just show up. I see a lot of Halo fans constantly being mad at just like, how come Infinite wasn't there? This was their chance to show off the game and such. And they can't do that. It has to be for good reason. And that has to be some kind of big update, or maybe better yet, a relaunch of the game in some way that just has the match composer, that has the new social features, that has the element. You see, there is one element to this game that isn't exactly marketable, but if people find out about it, it is going to keep them around. It is going to keep that player base keep coming back. i.e., my example is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. That is where I got this from. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is a game that I can't go a month without it. I keep playing it over and over. I put more time into this game than Elden Ring the year it came out. Why? Because it's a game as a service game that I can earn in-game currency. It takes a lot of time to earn that currency, but I can do it. I can earn the money to buy certain cosmetic-like things, to buy card booster packs to make a new deck. I can do that. And that is something that every other game of service game I have played doesn't really do that well. But if Xbox, as their publisher, it's not just up to 343, I think Xbox has to greenlight that idea. If they greenlight that, and they add the social stuff, and Xbox markets the game well with the new rebranding or relaunch, and that feature is in, I really think all that cumulatively can really make Halo Infinite go the distance. In the words of Hercules.
I can go the distance.
But maybe it won't be the updates. Maybe it won't be the relaunch. They're done with seasons. Maybe the only time they do this is whenever the next Halo campaign is coming out. There might just be standalone Halo campaigns going forward. That's kind of an entire other video that I want to talk about at some point. And I just want to focus on the Halo Infinite multiplayer side of things here. But those will be opportunities to talk about Halo Infinite again. Think back in the day like Halo 3 ODST, and when you bought that, you got a bunch of maps for Halo 3. Or Halo Combat Evolved, if you bought that, then you got a bunch of maps for Halo Reach. I can imagine the next Halo campaign will be something similar to that, where you don't necessarily get a bunch of maps, but maybe you get some kind of big thing, and then they have an opportunity to promote Infinite. Does that make sense? Halo Infinite could be the new era of Halo in terms of multiplayer. It is the best looking it's ever been. It's the most accessible one. It's a haven of creativity and possibility that we just have not had as Halo fans before. Literally, anything is possible in Halo Infinite now. And whatever the next title is, what do? Do they just release basically Infinite with better graphics and maybe some more sandbox elements? That feels like that is a game that would just kind of have that dip again. I want to talk about how that strategy of focusing up resources for the campaigns and multiple teams and such is maybe a good idea, but that'll have to probably be for another time. Just know it's a strategy that kind of aligns with what Xbox is trying to do with their first-party studios that they have so many now, and kind of constantly engaging people, keeping them on Game Pass. This video dives into that kind of, but I especially want to know, how do you think Halo Infinite could not only keep being relevant, but also grow, like exponentially grow? Let me know what you think of that in the comments, because I really think this might be the way they go, but we gotta give them ideas, guys.